Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. You got a free handout, check it.
Thank you. Yes, I wish I had. I said, you didn't spell it right. It's not what it meant. But that was very cute. You have to guess how it's spelled again. Are you sure tonight? Okay. Usually solo. But you will have to finish.
cataract surgery about 4 to 6 weeks ago, and I got measured for my new glasses today, but in the meanwhile I'm changing glasses. It's a real fiddle. This one, and so you all know that it then segues into Yedi Nefesh, which is on page 636. Yada, so please all feel free. Yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die die die. Yedi Nefesh. Let's go into the Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da.
So we turn forward to Hine Ma Tov on page 126 at the top of the page, 126. How wonderful it is for us to be together, especially on a night like tonight, after a full day of rain.
Hine Ma Tov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
And so we move to welcoming Shabbat with Lecha Dodi, page 138. It's a mystical song from Sfat.
Once again, I think you know this by now. I've done it several times. The Sephardi version, do you remember that? All ready for it? Lecha Dodi mikrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha Dodi mikrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Shamu v'zachu b'dibur echad hishmiyanu, el ham yuchad Adonai echad, u'shemuhu echad, l'shem tiferet, v'litila. Lecha Dodi mikrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha Dodi mikrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelecha ki himechu, haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh mashvat tehila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Hitoreri ki ba'ore, kumi uri 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 uri, shir dabeiri k'vod Adonai alayim nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Oy v'shalom atere bala, gam v'simcha u'v'tzala, b'toch emunei am segula. Oy chala, oy chala, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela.
And so as we have welcomed Shabbat with our Lecha Dodi, this beautiful song as I mentioned, I'd like to invite Jeffrey and Yehudit to light our Shabbat candles. Thank you so much for volunteering on the spot. I'm not quite sure what happened to, I hope they're okay, Peter and Hillary Winterton. So I hope they might have been caught up in the weather, or hopefully they're okay. They're not so stable.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Let's take a moment to turn to one another, wishing each other a Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Let us turn to Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. So we've welcomed all those people here, all of you here tonight who have braved this incredible weather that we're having. And thank you for joining us here. And those of you who are joining us through our live streaming, welcome wherever you might be. It's lovely to have you. Trevor, it's lovely to share the Bema with you. It's been a few decades.
Yes, something like that, since you first arrived.
Absolutely.
4 years ago.
Oh, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I was going back further.
Yeah, we've done that as well.
Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, page 140.
Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai, Ulezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, Ulezamer L'Shimcha Elyon. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai, Ulezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, Ulezamer לזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך
And so we turn forward to Shalom Aleichem on page 142. And just before we get into Shalom Aleichem, I was at the Morris Zephet, and somebody asked me a question about Morris Zephet, about Shalom Aleichem. And the question was, why is there the Hebrew word, which means she, in it? And they said, why does it go Malachei Hamlachim HaKodesh Baruch Hu Mi Melech before that, and they went Mi Hi Melech, and they added in a whole extra word. Instead of Mi Melech, Mi Hi Melech. And I said, and I was thinking to myself, I don't recall it. And so I pulled it up on my phone, thank goodness for phones, instant due date, and I sang through it, and I was like, no, there's no he in it. All these years, you've just been singing it wrong. I couldn't say you've just been wrong. I said, no, let's sing through this together. It's not mi hi melech. It's just mi melech. Mi melech. So they were like, Rabbi, what am I going to do? I was like, I'll leave it up to you if you want to keep singing it the way you know it, or if you want to correct yourself. So it's like one of those things where people have learned things after just hearing and hearing and hearing, but not reading. And so I wonder what they're going to do tonight. I wonder. I'm not there. Trevor, Shalom Aleichem, page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malchei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachel Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Let's rise for the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי, מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי בכל בית ישראל. בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם ולמיה, יתברך וישתבח, יפאר ויקומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמיני קודשה ברכו, לעמים כל בחטא ושירתה. תוש בחטא ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
blessing for the evening on page 148. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher baro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach sharim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. על חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. On page 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vayed.
You may be seated. Sorry?
I'm going to read it.
You're going to read it, okay.
On page 154, shall we read the Va'ahavta together? Va'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol mo'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavacha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לו תותפות בין עיניך.
וכתבתם על
מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אדוני אלוהיכם. Emet. On page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha, on page 158.
Mi Chamocha Bailim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nehedar Bakodesh, Noratilot Osefele, Malchutecha Rauvanecha, בוקע ים, לפני משה ומרים, זלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם ועד.
ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal One, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael. Va'al Yerushalayim. And on page 163. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. So we rise for the Amidah on page 164.
After the call to prayer, I invite you to read your own prayer silently, either what appears in the book or the prayers of your heart, whatever prompts you, and we will meet again on page 174. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agite Hilatecha. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agite Hilatecha. On page 174. Ritzei, Ritzei, Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amcha Yisrael, U'tefilatam Be'ahava Tekabel, U'tehil Ratzon Tamid, Avodat Yisrael Amecha, El Karov Lechol Korav, Pnei El Avodecha V'chaneinu, Shefoch Ruchacha Aleinu, V'techezena Eineinu, Eineinu Beshuvecha L'Tzion Berachamim. Baruch Atah Adonai HaMachazir Shechinato L'Tzion.
Amen. On page 177. God of goodness, we are grateful for your many bounties, for the protecting care with which your love shelters us, the knowledge that wherever we are, we're in your presence. May your teachings enrich our lives and challenge us to give evidence of your devotion. May our words and our deeds hallow your name and make us worthy of your blessings. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lahodot. And a prayer of peace on page 179. Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and make musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. Let's join together and we'll sing all together. We'll sing Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom b'mamah,
Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamah, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. I'm going to start tonight by telling you a few little stories, which may possibly be true. There was this chap who lived in Perth, and let's call him Michael. He was a FIFO worker, and every third Monday or so, he'd kiss his wife and children goodbye, and he'd fly up north somewhere for about 3 weeks, to come back a week later for an all too brief stay. He earned very well, but these frequent and lengthy absences from his wife played havoc with the marriage. And after several years, the marriage collapsed. Sad. And with that, Michael lost a lot of interest in his work, which of course resulted in him losing his job as well. So he came back to Perth. But he didn't have a home to go back to. And so he ended up being one of these people who stand at the traffic lights with a cardboard sign saying, "Homeless, please help. Have you got a few dollars?" One night there was another chap. Let's call him Trevor. Not just Trevor, another Trevor. And he was on his way to Temple David one Friday night, negotiating the rush hour traffic. And he came to a traffic light at a major intersection. And he was stopped at the red light. And there he saw Michael, who came up to his window with a cardboard sign saying, "Homeless, please help. Can you spare a few dollars?" So what did Trevor do? Did he perform acts of loving kindness? And he had some money he could have donated. What did he do? Well, what Trevor did, he stared stonily ahead, pretending he hadn't noticed the chap outside his window, and when the traffic light turned green, with a sigh of relief, he launched off into the intersection. In an instant, everything turned upside down, because racing the light from the other side was a chap coming at full speed trying to jump the red light. And of course, he hit Trevor's car right amidships. He T-boned it on the driver's side. And Trevor was badly injured. So now what's the situation? Here's Michael standing on the curb with this sign saying, "Homeless, can you help?" When he was up north in his fly-in, fly-out job, Michael had all his trade first aid, emergency first aid certificates. And he was trained in emergency response and fully trained to deal with serious physical injury. So what did Michael do? Did he immediately perform acts of compassion and loving kindness and rush up and use the skills which he had to help Trevor in his distress? Did he? Well, I'll leave it to you to make up your own ending of that little story. Did he exercise acts of compassion and loving kindness? On to my second story. Marsha was somewhere around 40. She was approaching 40 years of age, and it was her parents' wedding anniversary. And she intended to call around that afternoon and wish them happy anniversary and so on, but you know, she had to pick up the kids from school and take them to sport and then prepare dinner and so on. So she thought, well, I'll give the folks a ring after dinner and wish them happy anniversary. But you know, after dinner, there's washing up and supervising the kids' homework and getting them to bed, and well, you know what happens. Some months later, it was Marsha's own wedding anniversary. And she kind of expected her kids to wish her happy anniversary. But they'd forgotten. Which made Marsha think, quite annoyed, and she thought, well, there's not much respect for father and mother in this house. There's not much honor for father and mother in this house. I'll go on to a third story. Jack and Cecily's daughter was due to get married. And they were looking at who they were going to invite to the wedding. And they thought of Sol and Sadie. Should we invite them? Their daughter got married last year, and they didn't invite us, so not on the wedding list, I'm afraid. Not much rejoicing with bride and groom around those parts. Now, by now, I think the penny should have dropped, and you all have now recognized what I'm referring to. The Elu Devarim, acts of compassion and loving kindness, honoring father and mother, rejoicing with bride and groom. And if you care to look at them, you'll find them on page 206 of the Siddur, which you have in front of you, although actually I prefer the translation in Sharei Tefillah, which was our last Siddur before we adopted the present one. I prefer their translation. So have a look at those. There are 10 of them, and I could go through every one of them and give you a little story about every single one of them, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pick on about another 3 of them. Firstly, there's, I think, 10 or 12 of us here tonight, which is fantastic. It's wonderful that 10 or 12 of us should gather together to celebrate Shabbat. And I'm sure that the other 200 members of our congregation are eagerly awaiting to go to shul tomorrow. At least they will be attending the house of study, if not daily, then at least weekly. Next one, if we look down the list, the mandate to make peace when there is strife. I think in the present Siddur it is referred to as making peace among people. In our previous Siddur it said, make peace when there is strife. Well, gee, there's a lot of scope for that in the world today, isn't there? Make peace when there is strife. What can we do here as Jews in Perth do to help world peace? Well, I'm not sure that our little Elu Devarim really expects us to jump in planes and tear off to Israel and volunteer for the IDF. But there's one way in which we can help, and that is by making financial contributions to all of those causes, which are the appeals, which are now open virtually every week if we look at our emails. There's the URA appeal, which has just been, I think, across here, There's the JNF appeal, there's the IMPJ appeal, many causes, all desperate for money to help Israel in this time of trouble. How many of us, I wonder, have donated recently, if at all, and donated generously to the extent of our capability? And this is one way I suggest to you that our Elu Devarim calls on us to try and assist in making peace when there is strife. And finally, we read in the present Siddur, and the study of Torah encompasses them all. Well, again, I prefer the previous translation, and the study of Torah is equal to them all because it leads to them all. Now, how many of us actually actively study Torah? This is what we're enjoying to do by this neat little checklist of positive things which we are able to do and which we should be doing. How many of us actually engage in study of Torah? I don't know what facilities there are for study of Torah at Temple David at the moment, but if you want to if you want to study Torah, speak to the rabbi. There she sits, and she will know how to help you. So, and one of the most important things in this Elu Devarim, which incidentally is it's not a prayer, it's a collection of midrashic, of Mishnaic and Talmudic sources gathered together in medieval times. And they come from a number of different sources, but there they are gathered together for you. What they emphasize is that Judaism is a religion of action. We don't, most of us anyway, don't go and hide ourselves in caves in the mountains and contemplate and do nothing except pray and contemplate. We're enjoined to go and do something active. And if there is ever a clear statement that in our ritual, what about the V'ahavta, which we read just a moment, a short while ago? Lema'an tiskru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai. Bear in mind my words and do them. Do them. Don't just sit around doing nothing. You must go and do them. So there it is. Take action. There's a checklist in front of you in that Elu Devarim. And now, there's perhaps nowhere in the Siddur where this call to action, as opposed to sitting on our rear ends and not doing terribly much, probably the way it's enunciated most clearly is in tonight's Siddur, if we turn to page 187, and I ask you to read the indented paragraphs responsively, and as you do, take its messages to heart. Don't just sit there and go, yada, 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 okay, let's go home, what's for dinner? Take the messages seriously. So, as I say, please read the indented paragraphs responsively on page 187. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to banish war, for you have filled the world with paths to peace, if only we would take them. We cannot merely pray to you to end starvation, for there is enough food for all, if only we would share it. We must not ask of you, O God, to take the task that you have given to us. We cannot shirk. We cannot flee away, avoiding obligation forever. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Well, in the Elu Devarim, Trevor, there's one that says we need to celebrate with our bride and with our groom. And we have a bride and a groom here tonight, our wedding anniversary. So David and Fiona, you are celebrating a wedding. Every wedding anniversary is special. while it doesn't have a 5 or a 0 afterwards, you are celebrating a wedding anniversary. And so everybody gets to perform a mitzvah, one of these mitzvah from the Mishnah. So we get to celebrate with you tonight.
Wonderful.
So we get to enact that out right now by celebrating with you and inviting you up to open our ark for us. I believe it is 32 years. I won't tell you how many years David said in the car. It was less, so it obviously doesn't feel like it. So if I can invite everybody to please rise, page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה את הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, והדרת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, ונאמר לך יא אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
So we wish you many, 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 many more years of health and happiness and joy.
Thank you so much.
Just wonderful things. Mazal tov. So as we head to the Mourner's Kaddish, the Kaddish Yatom, page 598. We think of as part of Shiva and for Shloshim. Remember Deborah Isaac. Deborah was a Zephet, a Nizephet. She's the mother of Kath and Joshua, and she'll be laid to rest on Wednesday. We also remember Jackie Stone, mother of Donna Friedel and Damon Stone and Jared Stone. And she was very dear to many members of this community, this congregation. For the Shloshim, we remember David Jacobson, husband of Marianne Jacobson. The yahrzeits that we remember on this Shabbat, we remember Stanley Motta, father of David Motta, Margaret Robertson, mother of Michelle Blonde, Arnold Cross, father of Elsa Jeder Fisher, Barney Silbert, grandfather of Hilary Silbert, Avner Solomon, father of Amanda Mace, Lena Libmoff, mother of Flora Amiel, and Walter Winterton, father of Peter Winterton. If you'd like to remember a loved one for Shiva, for Shloshim, or Yahrzeit, I invite you to share your loved ones' names at this time. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of the righteous be for a blessing. As we join together with Kaddish. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach hirtei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uv'yom echon, v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'marur. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach la'olam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Vitada, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemeda Kodesha, Brehu, Leila, Minko, Berchata, Veshirata, Tushbachata, Venechamata, Damiran, Bialma, Vimarur, Yahei, Shlama, Rabba, Mincha, Maya, V'chaim, Aleinu, Vial, Kol Yisrael, Ve'imrur, Ose Shalom, Bimromav, Uya, Se Shalom, Leinu, Vial, Kol Yisrael, Ve'imrur, Amen. Hamakom Yenachem Echem B'toch Shah Havlei Tzion V'Yerushalayim. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved among Zion and Jerusalem and around the world, and we say, Amen. Just a couple of announcements before our final song, and we can have a seat. We have the chocolate Seder tomorrow morning. You can't come to that and then not expect to also go to the main Seders. It's almost too late to book for the main Seder. If you haven't already booked, please let me know, and you can come along. Tomorrow is the Bar Mitzvah of Josh Hadassin. And Sunday is the last session for What Unites Us as Jews with Professor Jeffrey Gordon, so come along to that. Probably almost too late, isn't it, to come to those sessions. But anybody's welcome to come along. There's still Mahjong and Yiddish this week, but no Israeli dancing because it is first night Seder. And on Thursday the 2nd, we have our first day Pesach services, and then that night, of course, we have second night Seder. And offices are closed on first and second day Pesach this year, and we got Shabbat Chol HaMoed services both Friday night and Saturday this coming week. And then, of course, getting into next week, have a look at the schedule. I'm not going to go through everything. We do have, following Wednesday, we do have Yizkor Halal. We have our Yizkor service as part of our seventh day services. We're now starting to get into what we call the season of the Yoms, for Yom HaShoah, Yom HaZikaron, and Yom HaTzma'ut. Please have a look at Ma'ah Chadash for all those details. You do need to get tickets for all of them. Yom HaShoah, Yom HaZikaron, there's no charge for the tickets, but because food is served at Yom HaAtzma'ut, there is a fee for that to go to those celebrations. I will be participating in, I know at least in the Yom HaZikaron commemoration for the fallen Israeli soldiers. Most of them, I'm pretty sure they're going to be at the same location. I'm not going to announce where they're going to be because we are live streaming our services, but you can talk to me after services and I'll let you know where they are likely to be, where they've been in previous years. But Machadash has all the details to book tickets, and like at the end of the month, at the end of April, we'll have the visit of Rabbi Fred Morgan, who will be coming to town, and he'll also be leading services. So that's the last Shabbat in April. I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be here on the Bima with Fred, with Rabbi Morgan. So that'll be a wonderful experience. Trevor, lovely to lead services with you this evening, and very moving stories that you shared with us tonight. So thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Join us for Kiddush in the lobby. And our final song is Adon Olam. You've chosen Adon Olam, page 600. Oh, Od Yavo. You've decided to go for Od Yavo. Shalom Aleinu, which is in our Sidurim. I can never remember the page, but I think everybody should know it by now. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu is on page 657.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu was a song composed by an Israeli chap called Moshe Ben Ari in 1997. And he composed it for a band which he had at the time called Sheva. There's 7. There were 7 of them. And roughly half of them were Jews and the other half of them were Arabs. And so, and the whole message of his band was peace. You know, let's live together in peace. And he and his band were living evidence of that. And he composed this song, which has become something of an anthem. Because sadly, ever since 1997, it seems that peace is still just as much an elusive commodity in the Middle East as it is in many other parts of the world, as it many was. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu means, and you have the words, it's sort of, peace will still, despite everything, peace will still come to us. And then the bridge section goes into Arabic. Salam Aleinu va'al kol Israel. Peace will come to us and to all Israel. I'm sure you'll know it. Please join in. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, 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 Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shkoyach.
Square to you too.
Thank you. Yashak.